Welcome. You have reached review time with Imperial. Today's review would be the season finale of Power Book 2 Ghost, Episode 10, Heart of Darkness. Let's get into it. Straight off the back, subscribe to the channel and like this video. Do that before we get into it. This episode was explosive, did not disappoint. A lot of us that was fans of Power didn't think this show could last um, without the whole Ghost and um, Amari Hardwick character and everything. Even though he had an open-ended death, this credit to the writers of Power. Shout out to Courtney Kemp, who put together this season that proved a lot of doubters wrong. And this last episode did not disappoint. So let's get into it. It starts off right off the bat um, with Tasha's trial. Tariq in a suit, he takes the stand, and you don't really know what is being cooked up with him and Tamika. And so their plan was to get Tariq on the stand and plead his case on everything he knew about Saxe. And so when Saxe went to go ask his questions, Tariq just slashed out saying that he seen him at Truth. He know that Saxe recorded him. How did he get the recording? He was drugged, and basically McClain knew as well. So when all this turmoil got started up, Davis McClain hurry up and got up and asked the judge for a recess in the chamber. When she got back there, you had McClain, Saxe, and the judge, and she want to know what's what. And so in comes Steve Ott, the one that's connected with the DNC. I said DNC, with the Democrat Party. And he pretty much tell the judge if she doesn't want to get reassigned, she need to get out of the chambers or whatever. So he pretty much at this moment is looking at it like, yo, y'all messed up. All three of y'all messed up. And he already brokered a deal with Tamika. And so Tamika said to Saxe, I told you it would come to this. So pretty much they made a deal that they'd drop everything with Tasha. She'll walk free as long as she was willing to give a statement that Tommy Egan was the head of the whole organization. She told them yes, just to get the deal. They signed a deal, but she never planned to switch on Tommy. By this time, Tommy already got word that this is what happened. So that's pretty much Tasha's free. Tariq is waiting for, and McClain is waiting there with a press conference, and pretty much that's that scenario for now. Now we zoom to Monet. She meets up with Rico. Dang, Jackie Long. You had you didn't get the total time he was on here maybe was 2 scenes, 3 if you the ride up to New York with the goons, the shootout, and then this scene right here. So he's in the parking lot by himself, and so Monet is meeting up with him, basically saying it was he don't got no respect for her. He got respect for Lorenzo, and he's pushing up on her pretty much. But his guy searched her before she got put back there. Now, when they got to, he's checked her boots, but when they got to searching her privates and everything, she was like, do your job. So he kind of was standoffish, but that's why they should have had some type of female there to search all the privates or whatever. So nevertheless, she went back there, and before Rico got a chance to really talk slick, she shot him in his neck and then shot him in his head. His chest, and I think in his head. And so she was coming to give him money, but he pretty much was still talking greasy, and pretty much flaunting in her face that he shot her son or whatever. Meanwhile, her big goon named Al, he shot him. Now, that's that scene. Diana pulls up right after that. They jump in and roll out. It flashes to King. He's now getting rid of Ramirez's body. He took Ramirez's phone. Monet been trying to call him. And he took Ramirez's badge. And he put Ramirez in some lake and tied bricks to him. Dumped him off. Then he went from there. King went to check Drew in the hospital. Drew pretty much was bashing him. Well, not bashing him. He just, hey man, you ain't for the family no more. You know, get out of here or whatever. So they had a little back and forth, and Drew was like, you up here mad with Tariq, and he not the problem, you are. So that was that. He left, but he's still, you know, he's still fuming with Tariq. From there, you got Professor Jabari, Professor Carey, still interviewing the students. They interviewing Ev. He's dropping the beans on everything, telling everything. But Carrie is looking at him like, because she already knows, she already got that word from Monet. So she telling him like, wasn't you drunk? And basically, you know, going against his whole story, looking at him, trying to get him to look like you need to switch your story up before you get all involved or whatever. So he, you know, he starts switching the story up and think I was just drunk. So then pretty much at that moment, Jabari was like, all right, well, maybe we don't need to tell the detective. I got something where I need to get to. So he leaves out. And so Riley was at the courtroom with Tariq and them. So now this is where you see her, the scene with Braden, and she's telling Braden, Tariq's a monster. He gonna get you killed. Now, you know, when you watch these type shows, is that foreshadowing Tariq gonna get Braden killed eventually? Who knows how the writing gonna go with that. So nevertheless, Tariq and Braden meet up, and pretty much he's telling Tariq, you know, she came and seen me, said you was a monster and whatever, and you know, with your family. So he's telling Tariq, I still want to do this. This is what I'm good at. This is my thing. If you with it, I'm with it. Tariq is looking at everything he's up against. He got to get going with his mom. So he pretty much was like, well, listen, the Tigers, they still going to need a connect up here. I'll put you on if I'm not doing it no more. So Tariq goes back to his room. Zeke comes in. Zeke is like, you know, he ain't supposed to be involved in none of this. So Zeke is pretty much, he nervous. He telling Tariq, man, you should have never got involved with my aunt, man. I tried to tell you to leave her alone. Hey, man, she don't tell everybody everything, man. You need to, you know, get going. I've been trying to reach out to Drew. I don't know where he's at. So he don't know Drew is shot, because they don't want Zeke to be involved in all that, because they know that's not his temperament. His mission is just get in the NBA or whatever. So we're going to see how that eventually plays out. So Zeke leaves, and he was panicking with Carrie, and Carrie said pretty much, I got this. Don't worry about everything. Just trust me. So she calmed him down by kissing him. You know, he's whipped on the poon, so you know what I'm saying? He's whipped on the poon, so, you know, he calmed down from there. So that was that scene. So Jabari reached out to Tariq, and now Jabari is spilling all the beans. I know everything, but I could get you advanced on some money if you just let me write a book about you and your situation. So Tariq is pretty much thinking like, this could be my out, because he could get me some money. And so Detective Santana just walked in. Jabari gave Tariq his phone number and just told him, think about it and get back with me. So that was that. Then you had Tasha going out. She's going to confront Monet and pretty much telling Monet, like, hey, you need to leave. Let Tariq go. I'm skipping town. I want my family. They had a little back and forth. Then you hear some gunshots. Monet's big goon, Al, got blasted out front. And when Tasha, when they seen the shots finish, they run up to the window. Tasha see Tommy's Mustang driving off. So she know, oh snap, he's back. So welcome back, Tommy. As a lot of us kind of figured that he would be back. So at that moment, you got from there, Tasha runs up to Tariq's school telling him Tommy's back in town. He just tried to shoot us at a Monet club. And so Tariq is basically like, Mom, calm down. I got this. Don't worry. Just be safe or whatever. Here's my burner. He gave her a burner phone. And she said, Tommy's a killer. And he's like, Mom, I'm a killer too. You know what I'm saying? So he's starting to embrace the monster inside him. And like after he told him, basically, if you know the better off you would be as soon as you embrace the monster inside of you. So now he up here playing chess in his head, how he gonna move these moving parts. So what he first elects to do is Tommy's went to go see Cash, and so he waited out front for Tommy to come outside. Now at this moment, he Tommy's like, you need to get away from my car because I told your dad I wouldn't kill you, but there's nothing gonna stop me from whooping your behind out here. So they had a little back and forth, and then basically he said, I heard you, try to, hit my mom or whatever. So Tommy like, yeah, I owe your mom basically for Keisha. Also owe your mom, her trying to say I killed your dad, and we all know who did that. So Tariq pretty much said, gave him a plan, and his plan is like, get you out of it or whatever. So you don't know what the plan is going to be. Now, the writing is the writing because everybody loved the actor who plays Tommy, and everybody's looking for the Tommy spinoff. With Joseph Sikora that plays Tommy. Everybody's looking for that spinoff, intrigued about it. So the writing is giving some false belief. Now, if a Joker just tried to kill your mom, I don't care what standard he have. You know he's a known killer. You know you couldn't trust him. He just tried to kill your mom. You got the drop on him. You get him the F out of here. Straight like that. Straight up and down. Ain't no questions about. You don't have to be a killer, gangster, or whatever. Just a normal, regular person. If a person trying to kill your loved one, letting on your mom, you're going to defend her at all costs. At least I hope most people would anyway. But nevertheless, this is the show, so this how the writing is. So they devise a plan to get Tommy off. So the plan is they call, Tariq makes a phone call, basically to say Tasha's in danger. So she's in WITSEC. Tommy is not supposed to know that Saxe is in. Tasha called McClane. McClane called Saxe. U.S. Marshal. He's still the U.S. Marshal. He gets his people all around. They tell him behind Tasha. Tommy shows up. He stole his mom's car, which was already reported. We know he was driving in a Mustang. And he's giving chase. And that's when you see the trailer of somebody chasing. As Tommy's being chased, he's getting chased by the feds. So what they did was Tommy ran off the road and ran into some type of gas station or whatever, and the car blew up. He left some dental teeth in the car, pretty much. Some dental teeth in the car, pretty much, so they could say that it was him who actually blew up in the car. Meanwhile, you see Monet had a scene with Kane. He was in there slapping some cheeks, knocking something down. Monet comes in pretty much like, confronting him because Lorenzo told her to go, and you need Kane back in the phone. You need the enforcer. You need the muscle. And so Kane pretty much is clapping some cheeks. She came in and, basically saying, where's Ramirez? And he pretty much said, well, Ramirez wasn't even family. And she like, wasn't. So at that moment, she already knew he did the 1-2 to Ramirez. And so she was like, Kane be gone. So Kane is really feeling like, still, he got his love for his mom. I'm still not in. Who he mad at left? Tariq. So Tariq meets up with Diana, and pretty much Diana is pretty much Diana's pretty saying, you know, watch your back. Kane is on a loose and he's gonna come for you. And so Tariq is like, don't worry, I got you. Didn't I protect you before? Pretty much I got you. Don't worry about anything. And so Tariq meets up with Jabari to get the money. And so Jabari pretty much was like, yeah, Tariq, this is all I could get for you, short notice. And Tariq was pretty much like, all right, cool, that's what it is. He said, but I'll get you more later. He said, well, just get back to me. And so Tariq Gary rolled, but Kane shows up. Right off the bat, Kane shoots Professor Jabari in the stomach. And so now you got Kane pointing the gun at Tariq, going back and forth. So now you got Tariq. Once again, now they got Tariq's character is like, he not manipulating Kane, but he's out thinking him, talking to him, but making sense. So he pretty much telling Kane, pretty much, I could get you back in the fold with your family. Ain't that, and pretty much saying, I know you killed Ramirez, there ain't no connect. And so Kane like, how you know I killed Ramirez? And he like, ain't that Ramirez's gun? And he was like, oh yeah. So then Kane looking like, dang, this Joker's smart. He already knew Tariq was smart or whatever. He said, ain't no connect. He said, your family gonna need me. And pretty much, to keep things going, we gonna have to run things or whatever. So your family gonna need me. And so Kane thought about it, and Tariq said, well, basically put everything on Ramirez, basically saying he was a dirty cop or whatever. Give me the gun. He said, you can pull your other gun out if you think it was a problem. Well, if you don't trust me or whatever. So he gave and said, yo, man, just go somewhere right now where a lot of people see you, so basically you can have an alibi. He said, I'm a debt Professor Jabari. So then once Kane ran off, Professor Bizarre, Tariq, that was very clever of you that you did that. And then Tariq was like, nah, pretty much like, I can't let you write that novel about me, you know too much. And he's like, nah, what are you talking about? I don't gotta write the novel. I'm just bleeding out. Give me help. I don't gotta write the novel. He said, nah, I can't. And so he was like, Tariq, you're just mixed up. You're a kid that's mixed up. You know how you've been dealt a bad hand. So Tariq at this time confessing like, nah, you don't know me. You never knew me. And you don't know I'm really basically a monster or whatever. And so, of course, he shot Professor Jabari twice. Now, Kane really didn't leave yet. Kane hid behind a tree. Kane seen him or whatever. So Kane had this like smile on his face like, yo, boy, really get down. He get down. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he found another respect for Tariq. I think they're going to make Tariq's character, him and Kane, end up eventually become cool because Kane respect him more, seeing that. And like, he know he really get busy and he really with the family or whatever. So even though it's going to bring up some more drama, whatever it's going to be. So that was that. So then it showed Tariq talking to Tommy, and Tommy pretty much was like, yeah, pretty much they think you was killed and you good. And then Tommy was pretty much, yeah, I'm getting off the highway now. But pretty much Tariq knew, nah, he's still up to something. He gonna want her dead. So he told his mom to meet him at the grave site of Raina and Ghost. And so she's there, she sees Tariq or whatever, and now you see Tommy in the shadows get ready to make a hit. And so Tariq apologized to his mom, and out of nowhere the FBI and everything came and told her they need to get her, to protect her safety, they need to get her up out of there or whatever. And so she was crying. They had this heart-to-heart moment, and she's basically saying, I guess I gotta let you be the man that you became or whatever. And so she was crying, and they pulled her off, got her off to safety. And then right after that, Tommy came out of nowhere and then choked him, and pretty much was like, I knew you was gonna try something slick like this. And basically Monet came out of nowhere with the gun, pulled a gun on him, and took his gun, and pretty much like, pretty much, I'll kill you right now. Like, he the only reason why you alive. And so then Tariq was pretty much telling Monet, stand down. Then you see Drew and Diana pull up in a car in the far. And then Tommy pretty much like, who got the balls? Who's riding with you? Who got the balls to pull up on me or whatever? And so then Tommy was like, you better kill me now because I'm not going to stop at nothing to kill your mom or whatever. And then he pretty much was like, I know, that's why I had her sent off somewhere far away where you can't find her or whatever. And so he was pretty much looking at Monet and her kids and say, basically, you just like your dad. And he was pretty much saying he understands now that everything that Ghost was doing, he had to protect his family or whatever. And then Tommy was like, Tariq was pretty much like, well, Tommy was pretty much like, you just like your dad. And he was pretty much, well, maybe the next time you see me, I live up to his name and I'll be the man like he was or whatever. And then Tommy pretty much like, you'll never see me again. And then just faded it off or whatever. Now, that's back to what I was saying earlier. You got to get a Joker like Tommy up out of here. But it's the writing for the show, so we got to go along with it. But you would have to get a Joker like Tommy out of here. You don't let him live and where, you know what I'm saying, you always got to look over your shoulder because you never know. So it just shows Tariq and Monet basically embraced him and said, come on, we leaving with family. And he getting in the car and her getting in the car and they ride off. And that's pretty much the end of the episode. You see Tariq coming into his own, becoming more like his father. He's supposed to be Ghost 2.0. And then you'll be looking forward to next season 2 to see what happens. Now, some things that was left on whatever. Detective Santana, he had a suspicious look when he seen Tariq. And Tariq in Professor Jabari's office, like, looking odd. So you don't know where that angle's coming from. We don't know what's up with Two-Bit. Two-Bit didn't repair since Tariq still owed him money. So you know Two-Bit's coming back somewhere in the fold or whatever. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. You know, everybody be looking forward for season 2. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment. Watch other videos on the channel. I'm always bringing different content for different shows, different movies. Till next time.